Hello, it's Alexia here. Now, I want to talk about how quickly you can expect to get results by using head trash clearance to clear your head trash. So if you want to know more about head trash clearance, then you can find out all about it in my book, Clear Your Head Trash, where I show you how to use it to clear your head trash. I also work individually with people, and I also train professionals, coaches, therapists, that kind of thing, so they can use it with their clients. So you might be experiencing head trash clearance in any number of one of those ways, by using it DIY on yourself, by working with a head trash coach. Yeah, that's how you will be using it, okay, or experiencing it. So how quickly can you expect results? Now, the thing about head trash is this is why I've used this here on the front of the book. It can be useful to think of your head trash like that, like a big kind of, I often think of it, you know, like that drawer that we all have at home that's full of old phone chargers, where it's just this knotted mess, and you kind of end up just leaving the drawer and just thinking, I'll leave that there. But if you ever needed to tidy that drawer out, what you need to start doing is just pulling one thing out at a time, and then eventually it would kind of loosen and you'd be able to kind of just sort it out and it would just all go. That's basically what we need to do with head trash, is that our head trash tends to hang around in these knots and these clumps. And so it depends what you're working on, whether you're working on, let's say if you're working on your confidence, then you're not going to be able to, improve your confidence by just doing one clearance, because actually the reason that you lack confidence is because of all these different strands, these different conflicts and fears and triggers and traumas and all of these things that are kind of all gathered around this thing, and it's showing up for you in your lack of confidence. So what we need to do is kind of pull all that apart and clear all those individual strands. So that process and the clearance time you need to do that means that, to improve your confidence might mean that you need somewhere in the region of a month, 2 months working with a head trash coach to bring about that kind of result. Whereas if you want to clear your phobia of spiders, for example, or your phobia of needles and injections, then that's a very simple, like, one thing. That's like, it's the spider, and I'm either scared of spiders or I'm not scared of spiders, but it's kind of not connected to anything else, right? It's just spiders or needles. It's a simple kind of one-dimensional trigger in that respect. So clearing a phobia of spiders or needles, will take you, I don't know, 10 minutes, half an hour, and then it's done, right? Then it's done. So that's how quick you can see the results in terms of an individual clearance. But when you're clearing something that's gathered around something like confidence, or your ability to speak up, do public speaking, maybe reducing your anxiety or your depression, then those things are kind of an amalgamation, and they're much kind of bigger things to deal with, and there's a lot more going on there, and that requires multiple clearances, and so they are going to take longer. So typically, what I'll just tell you, how long can you expect to kind of have to do clearance for to get some kind of result that's really noticeable or tangible in your life? So a lot of the work that I've been doing over the last 8 years, has been working with women who want to feel calm and excited around pregnancy, birth, and motherhood. So some of these women suffer from something called tocophobia, which is extreme fear of birth and pregnancy. Now, this is the culmination of lots and lots of fears, conflicts, and traumas. And so typically when I start working with my clients on their tocophobia, the clearance list that they need to work through in order to bring about a shift for them, let go of it, is typically something between 20 and 30 items that they need to clear on their list. So when you think that to clear one item from the list might take you up to an hour, that's sort of worst case scenario, and that will come down the more you do, then this gives you a kind of good indication as to how long it can take to bring about letting go of something like tocophobia. So that means that if you're clearing between 5 and 10 things a week, you can be banishing something like tocophobia in 3 weeks, in a month. And that's why I set my programs at 5 weeks for something like that, because I know that that's pretty much most people are going to be able to work through it in that time. Of course, everybody's different, and there's lots of different reasons why we might be suffering with something, especially when there's trauma playing into that, then that means it could take longer. Also, if there's things like anxiety or depression going on, then those conditions need to be dealt with first, because they tend to feed phobia conditions, and it'll just make it harder to deal with. So let's say you have anxiety and you really want to sort of deal with your anxiety. Then if you have anxiety, then that's really the number of clearances that you're going to need to do to clear something like anxiety is going to be something around maybe 30 to 40 different clearances. So again, that's going to be maybe 30 to 40 hours worth of doing clearance time. Now, depending on how gung-ho you are and enthusiastic and at it, you could get that done in 2 weeks, right? You could, but you probably won't, because you might have commitments, life, job, family, eating, sleeping, all that kind of thing. But generally speaking, I think that if you think about, you can sort out something like anxiety very comfortably within a 3-month period. And that depends on if you are being accompanied. So if you're working with a head trash coach on that, then you can probably do that much quicker. If you're doing it yourself, you've read the book and you're thinking, I'm going to sort this out myself, then that might not you might not get there in 3 months, because you might not be clearing the right things. You might not realize what the conflicts are that you're experiencing, because we often struggle to see our own stuff. So that's why working with a head trash coach can help you, because then they will kind of identify what you need to work on that's getting in your way. And if you do find that you want help with knowing what your own personal clearance list is, then we do offer that as a separate thing, as a separate service. If you do want to know what your personal head trash clearance list is, so you can just crack on and work through your list, then just go to the clearyourheadtrash.com website, and we can that can be organized, and you can have your own personalized list. You can pay for that service. So if you're working on if you work with a coach, then you probably get that quicker. But that's not to say you can't get incredible results in less time than that. I have my membership site, the Clearance Club, and this is a vault of loads and loads of head trash clearance resources to help you clear various things, all organized by life theme. So you can literally just kind of tackle all the major things that are going on in your life and just work through everything you need is there to do the clearance. There are videos, it's all there to help you. And I'm adding stuff all the time to the Clearance Club. Again, you can find out more from the website. I'll pop a link below. But I've had one member who was able to get rid of her depression and her tocophobia in under 2 months using the resources inside the Clearance Club. Now, she was an absolute woman possessed going through that. She said she was doing clearances every single day. So that obviously requires a level of commitment, but incredible results to get within 2 months. She'd been wrestling with her depression for years, and the tocophobia meant that she couldn't, really wanted a baby and couldn't even contemplate the idea of, just couldn't do that. And now they're actively trying, and now she's happy, she's leaving the house, she's not spending time curled up on the sofa in bed all day, a massive life turnaround in 2 months. So if you are willing to put the time in and the effort, you can get incredible results very, very quickly. But it's like exercise, if you join the gym and you never go, you're not going to lose the weight or get fit or tone up or whatever result you're after. Whereas if you join the gym and you go every other day and you hire a personal trainer, you're going to get amazing results in a very short amount of time. Clearance is like that. It requires a regular action to do the work and to clear stuff out. And if you've got 30 things you need to work through to get rid of your list, and you've just done 2 in 3 weeks, well, you're not going to see the results that you want. Whereas if you kind of put your foot to the floor and get 10 done a week, in 3 weeks, your life could be transformed. So it really is all down to you and doing the work, doing the clearances. So I hope that gives you some kind of indication as to how long it can take for you to see a change in your life. So I'll just recap. Excuse me. If you think about something, very simple like a phobia, you could do that very quickly in under an hour. If you think about an aspect of your life, like your relationships, like confidence, like public speaking, like travel phobia, things where there's a few things going on there, but are all around a very similar theme, a similar goal. Like, I want to speak in public. I want to be able to drive with confidence. I want to be able to do, birth my baby with excitement, or whatever that goal is, or the goal that you really want to achieve. then I think you should be looking at doing somewhere between 10 and 30 clearances around that. And you can get those results in 1 to 3, 4 weeks, really. Depends again on how much you do the work. Something like anxiety or depression, you're looking at more like 2, 3, 4 months. And it really does depend what else you're doing and what else is going on for you. Because if you've got severe anxiety and you've got PTSD, or you might have something like OCD, then those also need to be looked at, and they need to be considered as part of what's going on. So I would sort of, that would mean that those conditions would mean I'll extend that somewhat. So it really does depend on what's going on. We are all different. We've all got many, many different things going on. So this is just to give you a very rough indication of how quickly you can expect to see results from using head trash clearance. I hope this has been useful for you. If you have any questions, let me know. Until next time, bye for now.